Hey, welcome to another edition of the Lyle Style Show. Here I'm your man, Lyle Style, here sitting with me. I have a wonderful show of fabulous guests, man. He's really known in Iowa, is really known in basketball and Boston and everything, because I want to introduce my good friend here, Coach Acie Earl.
How's it going?
Welcome to the show, welcome to the Lyle Style Show, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I've been wanting to get you on the show for a while, but you're so busy doing your thing, doing camps and stuff like that, coaching now, for all people that's kind of new to the show, tell us a little bit of background a little bit about you.
Well, I'm from Moline, Illinois. Recruited to come here to the University of Iowa, play basketball, which I did. Then got drafted to the Celtics. Played a couple years there. Played a couple years with Toronto Raptors, and then a year and a half with the Bucks. Then went overseas. Went overseas for 8 years, and then came back and got into coaching.
Yeah, coach.
Got my master's degree and started teaching a little bit at the University of Iowa. Got my real estate license. Started dibbling dabbling in the real estate a little bit. Did more camps and teams, coaching my kids. And so,
I mean, that's wow. I mean, you had a wonderful career, man. Now, which is more because I heard a little bit about the overseas is really good too, and
it just depends on the country. I was fortunate to play 8 years, 12 countries.
Wow.
So, I mean,
you've seen the world, man.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Asia, Eastern Europe, Western Europe. So, basketball is a global sport.
I know. Did the people treat you a little bit more differently than they did in the United States? How? I mean, did you learn? Did you learn some?
My phone on vibrate.
Did you learn some different languages?
Oh yeah. I speak and understand roughly about 5 languages.
Oh wow.
So Turkish and Russian is probably my best. And then I can speak a little bit of Albanian. I can speak a little bit of, Spanish, sure. I learned that in high school. Polish a little bit, Serbian a little bit.
Right.
Fortunately, basketball terms are pretty universal. So like rebound or defense translates to just English terms.
Oh, okay.
So just understanding the other part of the language and how to communicate with my teammates and the coach and the managers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Oh wow. I definitely could imagine you being overseas, like in Asia and different countries.
Yeah, no, China is different.
Yeah.
I mean,
It probably is a lot different.
Chinese is that's probably
that's a hard language to learn, man.
But it's fortunate you basically attack it like every week I try to learn 5 new words. So I learned what I call my power words, which was, foods I like, juices I like, juice and water, snacks, directions, right, left, north, south, taxi stuff, banking stuff, postal stuff. So once you got that kind of route down, because that's the stuff that we needed to survive, you could kind of get other words.
Okay, they come to you.
Right, and I used to carry a dictionary, like a small hand dictionary with me. So I would have words circled, and if I could, if I meant something, I just have my pages tabbed, and
there you go.
Yeah, or like the night before, I would always sit down, or night after, I would sit down with my book and say, okay, what happened to me today that I couldn't communicate that? And then I just go through the book, and I have that with me. So if it happened again, I just flip through the page and be like,
remember
this
this
is
word
what I
right here?
need. Right.
Yeah. I need this right here. Hey, can you see it? Bold letters. Yeah.
And most of the languages, as what people know, are the root languages. So Slavic is a Russian parent language, which Polish and Serbian and Croatian and all that goes off the Slavic. So once you know one, you know the other.
Oh, okay.
Turkish is a Latin language, similar to French. Got a little bit of Arabic in it, mixture, but once you learn some languages, they just root out.
Yeah. And you kind of can follow through there and whatnot.
Right.
And
same words with different meaning.
Right.
Like that.
Basic words means the same thing
right.
all over the world. Yeah. So your career, okay. your career like in college, it's a lot different from your career in professional. So what is your transition from college? Could you tell me a little bit about how'd you transition from college? I mean, because you was young, you know.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think everybody has some transition from, high school to college. I redshirted my first year in college because I wasn't strong enough, big enough, mature enough to play.
You wasn't big enough, man. You're 7 foot. Oh my goodness.
But I was light though. I came to Iowa at 220.
What? That's big, brother.
No,
that's big.
that's light. And I left at 250.
Ooh.
So then,
Yeah,
I played most of my pro career at about 260, 265.
Wow. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So just understanding the pro game. I was fortunate to play in the NBA during the best center era.
Yeah.
So Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon,
Right.
Eddie
Oh
Robinson,
yeah. So you played against
Ronnie
these guys.
Cycli,
Yeah.
Lonzo Mourning,
Oh shoot.
Kevin Duckworth, Felton Spencer, Luke Longley, Rick Smits. So, I mean, that was the best center era, which is also harder for me. Oh, Shaq. Couldn't
Yeah.
play against
Oh yeah.
Shaq.
You gotta have
How
Shaq
could
in there,
right,
man.
how could I forget Shaq? So, yeah, so just, playing in that, adjusting to that game,
Right, right.
is difficult, but,
Right.
luckily I had a good run for a few years.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, so you played center, then, didn't you?
Center in the NBA.
In
And
college.
then, college, a power forward center, and then in the pro, and then overseas is when the game started to evolve. So, for instance, I played against Yao Ming when he was young.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I played
yeah, I remember
against
him.
a lot of the Turkish and Russian players that came over and played. So, and overseas they practice like 5 hours a day. You have two
wow.
practices. You practice in the morning, you practice in the evening.
5 hours a day, huh?
5 or 6, yeah. And then the morning practices are more skill practices.
Okay.
That's when you do shooting, dribbling, fundamental skills. That's why the players come over are so good.
Right.
And so when I played overseas, I was able to evolve my game to more of a power forward. So I could, shoot more, pass more, be away from the basket. Offenses were way more wide open. And so that allowed me to have a longer career because I adjusted my game.
Oh wow. Yeah. I could have.
So the game was changing overseas. It hadn't came to NBA yet. It was coming.
Oh. Okay.
Like Dirk Nowitzki was still
I remember
overseas
him.
coming.
Right. Right.
He was coming over. Ginobili was the best player in Europe at the time when I played in Europe. So.
Wow. See, have you met friends? Have you met some type of friendship with these people you played for? You played for a long time, so.
Yeah, the internet was just coming.
Okay.
So, email was a thing.
Yeah.
And so I still got a lot of emails, and we still email some of the my old guys that I played against and stuff in Europe. But it's also more of a friendship because you're with them longer during the day and through the year.
Yeah.
You travel with them. You're not traveling on private jets, so you're on the buses.
Oh,
you're on trains.
Sitting next to each other.
You're with each other. I remember one time we played in St. Petersburg, and the trip was like 22 hours.
Ooh.
We trained from our city, Saratov, to Moscow, which was an overnight trip, 12 hours.
Wow.
And then we bussed from Moscow to St. Petersburg.
Wow, man.
Like another
That's
8 hours,
8
or 10
hours.
hours or something crazy.
If you don't know your teammate by then, man,
Oh, yeah.
you never know, boy.
Yeah.
Sitting right next to him and learning a little bit about his life and whatnot. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So difference when you was out here playing with the pros, with the guys in the United States, I know you became friends with
Yeah,
with
very,
the ones-
very few. I mean, obviously you play with guys and but you don't know a lot about them in their life. Sometimes during longer road trips, you could talk to people and get an inclination, but really don't know anything about them, or they want you to believe a certain thing about. It might not be true.
Right.
So-
they give you a little facade.
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
might say, "Well, I'm from Chicago." It turned out you're really not from Chicago. You're from a suburb.
You're from the
Chicago.
suburbs.
So-
you ain't from the
right.
hood, man. You grow up in somewhere in
Right. So-
in Sioux City or somewhere like
Right.
that.
So in Europe, most guys they have a more of a history or more of a life because they're from that. Normally, they grew up in that city that they're playing in.
Yeah.
They played with the young team. They went to
Right.
school.
Right.
Their dad or uncle maybe had played. Their mom might be a teacher in the school, working for the hospital. Or dad might have been in the army.
Oh, okay.
So I would, in Europe, most, every person has to do army duty
Really?
at some
It's
point.
mandatory then?
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Oh, wow.
So most of the guys have been in the army or their family have been in the army.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
even the guy, I think the guy Nurkic who plays
Yeah, I've
for
heard of it, yeah.
Portland,
Right.
his dad is a cop.
Oh,
and
okay.
all four of his brothers are in the army or something
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
So
So you get a lot of
That's
guys that have a military background.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I think Jokic, the other guy from Denver, I think his family were from the army, but also are MMA
Okay.
boxers.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys
I've heard-
that
yep,
have
I've heard that
different
too.
backgrounds other
Right.
than basketball.
Right.
Basketball was just maybe a fluke or an outlet for them,
Mm-hmm,
but they're they have more of a well-rounded background.
Right. Yeah, the versatility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the difference when you was playing pro, is there a difference now in playing the pro?
Oh yeah, the
than
game
when
is
you grew
totally
up?
different. Yeah.
What do you say? It's a difference.
Well, the game is
when you
wide
was-
open. The European influence
Okay.
came over and the shooting the three-point shot and more wide open game. The big men are doing more things. I mean, you see like Kevin Durant, 7 foot
Yeah.
tall. Giannis is 7 foot tall. These guys. LeBron James is the same size as Karl Malone,
Oh wow, man.
6'8", 250.
Mm-hmm.
So the game is more wide open, free flowing, more threes. I mean, look at James Harden.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I mean, so it's just different. Just the game has evolved.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And so in your pro career now, have you transitioned into doing sports casting? Is that something that you're gonna kind of get into down the line?
I've dibbled and dabbled in it.
Well, you'd be good at doing that commentary.
I
man.
think I did a few. I mean, I did some stuff for the Big Ten Network before. It's fun. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of
hours.
scouting.
Yeah.
To understand the game and understand the players. It's not just showing up broadcasting the game because you want to know about the players, the coach, the teams, the scouting report, the tendencies of the team. I would like to do it. It's a fun thing. I watch a lot of sports anyway.
Oh yeah. I think you'd be great doing that. So and what's now have you seen a little bit different in college basketball? Has that evolved since you played ball?
Oh yeah, it's different.
Iowa?
I mean, the three, the 3-point shot is different. You don't see a lot of pressing anymore like you used to. I think you do see better shooting.
Yeah. More
Defense
skills,
seems to be better.
Yeah.
But I also think it's so much. I think it's more parity because there's more players. There's better players because of the AAU circuit of kids are playing at a younger age. Any team could be good because they can get players. It used to be there was only like a top 20, like Carolina and Duke and UNLV and Georgetown and got all the players.
Right.
Now you look up Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah. And some of the small
Virginia.
schools. Yeah.
Teams that weren't on the radar 10, 15 years ago are now on the radar because there's more players playing. There's more Division I or what you call big time colleges. So for instance, when I went to college, I think there were only 275 Division I basketball teams that played.
Wow, that's it.
Now there's 350.
Whew,
So there's
big
more.
game, man.
So there's more.
Yeah. Widespread.
Opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you came back to Iowa, man. You're doing a lot of things here. You're doing things with the youth. Now tell us a little bit about your program and how you.
Well, I got into coaching kind of by accident because most of my players that I play with and against were coaching. They didn't make it to the NBA or overseas. So like when I was coming back during breaks or overseas, all my guys were like, man, you should get into coaching. Because we talk basketball and we talk strategy, and they're like, man, you know the game. And So I got in it because of them.
Yeah.
And then I started coaching my kids, obviously, and that's what got me into it. I coach a little high school. I coach semi-pro.
Kids, you have kids.
Yeah, so I have 3 that play now, 1 in college, 1 in high school, and 1 in junior high.
Wow, okay.
And so,
And are they pretty good?
yeah, my one in college was leading scorer, leading rebounder, leading everything at Lawrence
Another
University.
Acie Earl, man.
Maybe. She's at Lawrence University, Appleton, Wisconsin. And then I got a freshman at City now.
Okay.
And then my 7th grader at Southeast.
Oh, wow. Okay, he's probably good. Are they tall? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kareem's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I named him after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, really?
My favorite player of all time.
Yeah, that's your favorite player. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you
So,
about that. Yeah, so now you also came here. You did like a little sport thing called Venom.
Venom Sports.
Okay, now what is that about? Tell me
It's
a little
just, I just wanted to be different. I named it Venom. I don't know.
It is unique and different, When you
So I did Venom Sports for 12 years, coaching teams.
plus, you did something here on TV. You had.
Yeah. We had them in for a couple interviews and things of that nature. So, and I still do training, my Venom Sports training.
Okay.
So I train kids a couple times a week, and so.
Oh, wow.
I still do the training just to stay close to the game and help families and kids get to the next level.
Right, you get to the next level of what they want. So, and all your years doing that, I know that some of the kids, I know they appreciate what you're doing. As any kid that kind of, came back and said, "Wow, you know what? When I was doing this, what you helped me with, now I'm doing this," and I appreciate it.
I've so with my camps, I have players who played for me.
Oh,
help me do my camps.
wow, really?
So going out and played in college.
Yeah.
Went out and played in high school and college, and they are getting into coaching and they do training. So players that have played for me help me with camps.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's pretty
man.
fun and
That is
rewarding.
fun, man.
Yeah.
Because you remember them when they would play for you when it was little.
Yeah, I had one kid start when he was in 5th grade.
Oh,
and he's did 3 years camps for me.
Oh man, that dates my age right there. Boy.
Me too.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. So, what is your fondest memory that you had from in college and in pro? You can say one.
Can't really narrow them down because pretty much everything meant something. I remember my sophomore year, we beat UCLA here.
Ooh,
and they were like ranked number 5 in the nation or something like that. They had 4 or 5 pros on the team. I had 30 points and like 16 rebounds against them as a sophomore. So that kind of let me believe like, I might be able to do some things.
Yeah, you might be.
Right. That was my sophomore year. And then one time in the NBA, I had 40 points against Boston. When I played in Toronto in the New Garden.
Against Boston, the team that you played for.
Right,
wow.
right.
Isn't that, wow. That's,
so I had the record for a little bit.
Yeah.
Until I think Todd Day beat it and then Vince Carter beat it.
Yeah. He had 40 more than 40 points. That's a lot of points, though. I don't care what everybody says. That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. My back was hurting me so bad
I know.
that night. I was tired.
Well, have you ever been hurt, injured doing
No, I tore my Achilles in Croatia. That was the last year I played. That was my injury. That was my major injury, and I didn't come back from that. I didn't. I got here, rehab. My kids were getting older, and I was just like, maybe it's time for something else. Time to but mentally, I was already done.
Right.
The year before, I had won the championship and won MVP in Kosovo.
Oh, okay.
But mentally, I was even preparing my resume. Like on my off days, I would be on the computer. So mentally, I was done, but physically, I could still play.
You still play, yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm just going to keep playing until my body gives out.
Right.
And that's what happened. Next season, it gave out.
Wow. Okay. Because this is a difference when you're playing pro ball and like sports like pro basketball and football, baseball. All these little pro sports are different, and like y'all have a really longer schedule than pro football players.
Well, I mean,
each
sport is unique. I think baseball is the easiest.
Yes.
They
got a lot of games.
Lighter on your body.
Right.
I think football's the hardest.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Even though they play shorter games. I think hockey and basketball, the longevity of playing over time and training, you know, can take its toll on your body because you have to do so much for so long of the year.
How many games do y'all play here?
82
Ooh.
for basketball. They play 82 regular season games.
Wow,
I
that is
think
a lot.
6 or 8 preseason, and then whatever you play in the postseason.
Right,
You
yeah.
know,
That's a lot,
playoffs,
man.
right.
That's a lot. I mean, wow, okay. Well, there we go. 5 minutes. I mean, okay. So, okay, now, now what brought you back here to Iowa?
Well, my wife was getting her master's degree and law degree, and then the kids just started getting older, and Iowa City was changing.
Yeah. Oh,
and so we were just like, we were just like,
Yeah.
okay, let's stay here. And then I got my master's degree here.
Okay.
So it was just, you know, we liked it, the kids liked it. So yeah.
Right. And okay, so what are your plans?
I'm from Moline, so
Yeah,
it's only
Moline,
45 minutes
right.
away.
And so you're involved in doing real estate now. Are you doing real estate? You're kind of doing.
I don't do a lot, but I do stuff for friends, and I do. You know, I have my own, you know, Venom Investments, Earl Properties.
Okay.
I have my own, you know, company and rentals and stuff. And,
Wow.
And you know, for friends and stuff, I don't do a lot publicly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you got your license, so you can
Right.
you can definitely do that. Yeah. So what's the future for Acie Earl, man? What's the future look like for you?
Well, I got to get out of this cold Iowa weather.
I know, yeah.
So
it is. Oh man,
I'm on a 5-year window. My son's in 7th grade.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get him out, get him into college.
Good.
He's my youngest one. And then go to Florida and
Then
retire, man.
Gotta retire.
Got to get the warm weather.
Yeah, hit the warm weather, retire on the beach and sit back.
Cold is not good on the bones.
Exactly. You've been. So you from Illinois. You know how it's cold.
I know.
You know how our winters are. It's
know.
the same thing, man.
I know.
So,
it can only take so long, I think.
Oh wow, yeah. But you know now also we got the blast from the past. Now, I mean, you was in a movie together back in the day.
Right. Moon 03.
Moon 03, man. You played a gangster, man, which is
right. Very similar to the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That was the parallel.
That's the parallel. Yeah,
right.
yes. And people can watch Moon 03.
Fast Horse, I think was.
He was named Fast Horse. Yeah.
Right.
And I played a Dr. Van Gelder in the movie Moon 03, which is on YouTube. You can catch it on YouTube. But we do have we're gonna have a clip with it, you know, at the end of the show, and you know, people can watch that and see you in action, man. Your little part, because you had the shades on, man, and you was a bad mamma jamma, man. And
it was fun. Man.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah. And then how long did it take you to learn those? Because you had some pages to learn, man. So you can act too.
No, they emailed me, and I just printed it out and studied it. For about a week before, and then studied the lines and just did it.
Wow. I mean, look, I cannot act, but I try to. I'm glad I had a little. I'm glad. Look, I had a little part. They had my stuff on the projector, and okay, Lyle, look right here. And,
but I'm into sci-fi, so you know, I got the whole.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a Star Wars baby, so I got the whole gist.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if it was probably some romance.
There you go,
that.
man.
But yeah, sci-fi is up my alley.
Yeah, but you did pretty good. So what we gonna do? Hey, Acie, I thank you for being a part of the
thank you,
Lifestyle
man.
Show.
Yeah, we gotta do it again.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it again. So we're gonna watch that little clip of Moon 03 and your part that you did. And I just want to say thank everybody for watching Lifestyle Show, and keep styling and profiling.
You took your time.
Huh. What do you mean?
Took your time coming down to see me. So you facilitators, you come, you go. Some of you get better jobs, big jobs on Gillis. Some of you get drummed out because you can't take the pressure. And some of you, well, you just disappear. But Fast Horse, I'm always here. And sooner or later, you facilitators will come see me.
Now, why would I want to come and see you?
Why would anybody want to see me? Because I can get things that are hard to find. Booze, girls, other things. Everybody knows I run the pleasure deck. And on Moon 03, to my thinking, that means I run pretty much the whole show.
Yeah, to your thinking.
I'm thinking about, you've been here 9 months. You took your time coming to see me. So that means you probably don't have any vices, or at least common ones. Oh, you don't have any vices, and you're just trying real, real hard to stay away from them. Can I offer you a drink?
No thanks, I don't drink.
Okay, so what can I get you?
Just a little information.
My life's an open book. You got an inquiry for me? You're gonna have to see my parents.
Relax, Fast Horse. I'm not trying to take you down.
That's good, because I decided that I like you. And others have tried, but they're not here anymore. Fast Horse is still here.
Yeah, as you explained. All right, Fast Horse. Let's clear the air. Okay? I knew all about Pleasure Dome when I came down to this assignment. Okay? And I got a pretty good idea. No, in fact, I know exactly what goes on down here. All right? And frankly, I don't care. See, I'm not some Pollyanna like you used to dealing with. Okay? I know for a fact that those harvesters, they come in from those lonely little derricks, and they've got money to spend and steam to blow off. And you provide the service for them. Fine. Great. For the most part, helps operations run smoothly. And I'll tell you something else. I've done some checking up on you. Yeah. And I found out that, for the most part, you run a pretty airtight operation down here.
Oh, I thank you.
As long as it stays airtight and doesn't affect things upstairs, you can keep running your little flea circus till kingdom come. All I care.
Now, see, that's very astute of you. I told you, but I decided that I like you.
Yeah, well. Like I said, Fast Horse, because of your position of trust, you got your fingers on a lot of pies around here. It's come to my attention that you might be able to help me locate a crewman that's gone missing.
Who are you looking for?
Schmitter. He's a maintenance tech. Nobody's seen him in a couple of days. Nelson said he's been coming down here more and more often. Maybe it seemed like he's been seen with a couple of girls.
Yeah, I think I do know the guy. He's kind of newer than you. But if this is about women, I don't think you need to be talking to me.
I said I don't drink.
So don't drink it.